Liverpool come back from behind to keep the title race alive, to put pressure upon Manchester City and make them stay honest for the remainder of this. There is a race still on. They draw level on points. Of course, a slip up or two are needed from a Liverpool point of view, but they kept the pressure on. They went that goal down early on, responded quickly, demonstrated the mentality again. But tonight, Fabinho picks up an injury. What does that mean ahead of the FA Cup final? Join us now for the fan highlights and match reaction show on the Football Terrace. Smash the like button, subscribe to the Football Terrace. Let's do this.
Absolutely magnificent.
An excellent game of football we just witnessed. Villa coming out the blocks quickly, taking that lead and really setting up what we thought could be a devastating night for Liverpool. But within a matter of moments, a mistake from Tyrone Mings, Van Dijk and Matip combined to get Liverpool back into the game. And then it was kind of, I wouldn't say end-to-end. That's a little bit disrespectful. Liverpool were the more dominant team from the 30th minute, especially since Jordan Henderson came on. They controlled the possession. They were the dominant team in this match without a shadow of a doubt. But there was opportunities on the counter-attack, some excellent one-on-one goalkeeping from Alisson again. After we did get away with an earlier mistake in the game, but that's the nature of the beast. And it was a match that was really important to me. And I thought it was very significant that Mo Salah didn't start. Was dropped from the starting lineup tonight. Some say rested ahead of the FA Cup final, but tonight was a must-win game for Liverpool because there was no way, there wasn't a single Liverpool fan in the build-up to this match that would say for a single second that they should be taking this easy. This was all about going out almost hell for leather, getting the 3 points and keeping City honest. You would not have wanted to have dropped points tonight as a Liverpool fan and then see City lose tomorrow. It would have felt like a massive opportunity. I still think today was more important than the FA Cup final in some respects for Jurgen Klopp. I really, really do. There was some good rotation from him. His team stepped up. The only real kind of smudge on the paper today is the hamstring injury for Fabinho. Top-class holding midfield player. And look, maybe the title race is over in many people's eyes, but it weakens the midfield when you're up against the likes of Chelsea and potentially Real Madrid in these cup finals on the horizon. It's all going to depend upon how bad it is. It is a hamstring, though. These things normally 10 to 14 days minimum. Sometimes they can be as much as 2 to 3 months. It didn't look like a massive tear, but the way he kind of went down early, the way he walked off. But we will see. Nevertheless, it could be a big blow for the FA Cup final this weekend. But you have to say, tonight again, Liverpool caused some problems by the likes of Watkins. I thought there was times tonight where Coutinho is very, very good. McGinn, they really did put it on Liverpool. They really tried their best to not just spoil the party, but almost end that title race completely, giving City the option. Because remember, City now play twice before Liverpool kick a ball again in the league. And that's a significant factor in this. That really is the significant factor. City fan here says, Terry, you seem overly happy for Liverpool. No, I'm a football content creator that covers the top six. I'm going to be blunt. I want the top four race and I want the title race to go down to the last day of the season. Why? It's good for content. If Liverpool lost tonight and then City win the next game, the rest of Liverpool's league games become dead rubbers. I don't want them to be dead rubbers. I'm a content creator. I want there to be something significant to talk about. So don't confuse my professionalism with my personal wants as a fan. The Man United fan in me wanted Liverpool to lose tonight. The content creator in me, of course, I want it to go to the final day of the season. In fact, the football fan in me wants it to go until that final moment of the season. Who wouldn't like another Aguero moment in football? I certainly would. But maybe that's just me. Winnerpool here says, Terry, Liverpool haven't lost a game in the Premier League since December. Rivals put some respect on the quads alive. Look, rivals do respect Liverpool. That's a really weird thing to say. I don't know how old you are, Winnerpool. You strike me as someone who's about 15, 16. Bantering clubs, even when they're good, is normal. Man United are the most successful team in Premier League history. Fergie, the most successful manager. Fergie's era and his achievements get bantered every day. It's just the nature of the beast. I would say learn to take it would be my advice. Adams here says, did you just say excellent game of football? The game was so dead. I disagree. I really enjoyed that game. Sometimes football matches can be entertaining when there are mistakes. I thought there was some fantastic defending from both teams at times, and then some mistakes at sometimes. It made it end. It wasn't like a basketball game end to end, but the higher line was trying to be exposed by Villa, and they got in on a number of occasions. Alisson with some great one-on-one defending, some heavy touches let them down. Liverpool weren't really carving out those clear-cut opportunities, but it's because Villa defended well. But I thought it was a fairly open game. Both teams tried to attack in their own way. And I thought it was quite entertaining. I enjoyed the football match. That's just me. I'm not someone that always needs to see the very best football at every single moment for it to be entertaining. It's, both teams went at it. Nathan here says, Terry, get out your Liverpool scarf. The other day when they lost, I was called a Liverpool hater. You lot are mad. Villa are plucky. It's a win, but doesn't really help our goal difference. All we can do is win and hope City trip up. I get you there, Daniel. And you would have, of course, Liverpool fans tonight would have preferred a 3-0 or 4-0 or 5-0 win, counteract that goal difference. But you're away to Villa. Villa are a good side. And I really do think the most significant moment of tonight for Liverpool was getting that goal back quickly. If it would have gone 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, you started off really poorly and really slowly, it could have become precarious. It almost felt like in those opening few minutes, there was a bit of a hangover. Now, yes, you were helped by Tyrone Mings and awful defending. I don't know what the man was doing. The man was doing like a Michael Jackson moonwalk spin or whatever it's called. When he used to spin on the spot? Well, not called a moonwalk spin. I don't know what it's called. As if any man knows the name of the Michael Jackson dance move, barring the moonwalk, because it's very, very famous. But I don't know what he was doing, but you pounced. You took the opportunity. You got yourselves back in the game. I think it could have been a very different state of affairs had you not returned and put that ball in the back of the net so quickly. There was a comment here from someone that says, Terry, the ref was crap. I did tweet about the ref tonight. Look, Liverpool deserved to win. It was what it was. Some people are talking about the offside for Liverpool. Should the goal have been given? Blah, blah, blah. It was offside in the first instance, but it was one of those where it was like the player might have run through on goal, so they always let it go. There was then a second and maybe even a third phase of play. So this is where people have got to learn the laws of the game. Yes, that initial pass was offside, but we also know that referees are told to that could be one of those where the referee isn't sure, so he doesn't put his flag up. They're told if you're not sure, you don't put your flag up, and you at the very least let the ball go into the back of the net. He obviously wasn't sure, because what would normally happen is you take the shot or you lose possession. And if he's adamant it's offside, he put the flag up. He wasn't. And there was then a second phase of play. If there's a second phase of play, you cannot go back to the first phase of play is offside. That's the law of the game. So was that initial pass offside? Yes. But the goal wasn't scored in that initial piece of play. It's unfortunate. But there was some other weird things from the ref tonight. I've seen this in a few games recently where teams are given no advantage. Like there's a foul, they're boxed in. Referee's like, well, play on, you've got the ball, and they lose it 3 seconds later. And it was sort of like, what's he doing? I have to be honest, he made bad decisions on both sides tonight, but there was just inconsistencies in what he was doing. He was kind of ruining the flow of the game for me. He looked out of shape. He looked slow. He looked behind the pace of the game. And do you know what? As Premier League football gets quicker and quicker, players get fitter and fitter. I think the referees have got to follow suit. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want that to sound like body shaming, but standard of fitness. The geezer looked like he was struggling to run around with those Adonises on the football pitch. We are going to bring our panel out soon with Dom Hussam, Man Like Ram, Rak. Zayn will be here with us as well to have their say. Terry, I'm 25, so you act like a 10-year-old when England won the semi-finals. Remember that? No, I was very emotional. I acted like a 36-year-old, 35-year-old man at the time. I was very emotional about that. And yeah, if you got offended by what I said, I'm just talking about the way you tweet. I mean, you're called Winnerpool. Because your name was Winnerpool, I assumed you were younger. It's a bit like people that call Man United manure. Like if I hear a football fan go, right, manure, talking about Man United or Chelsea or like Man Shitty, whenever I read people with names like that, I assume you're a kid. That's just me. I'm sorry, you're 25. I respect you on that, my guy. Top man. Sorry, I didn't realize you were 25. I take back what I said, brother. Sean here says, Terry, City fans will become the real insecure moaners about refs every week. We got denied a clear goal, which Jota cleaned through, and Terry Alisson should just let it in. Terry Alisson should just let it. What do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Oh, what? I let the shot go in. And the problem is you can't just let the shot go in when the offside was on, because No one's ever sure. We were all only sure because we got to see the replay, right? Imagine Alisson goes, I'm letting it in, so there's no second phase of play. And then they do the checks and and Alisson can't really tell when it's close. Alisson's angle does not give him perspective enough to see whether it's on. He can't do that, my guy. Oh, I'd love to see a goal. Imagine what you do to a goalkeeper at your club who lets a goal in because he thought it would make the flag go up to stop a second phase of play. Oh wow, it would be Karius-esque. Terry, you're correct. The ref need fitness. Of course they do. It's a standard. Liverpool fans asking for respect. You lot don't deserve it because you haven't won anything to earn it. You're always second best to City, and no one ever respects second best. And I despise City. Look, I respect you, Adams. You're a regular super chatter, and I respect everyone that supports my platform. Liverpool do deserve respect. They're an astoundingly good team. They really are a very, very good team indeed. And they have my respect as a football team. Sometimes I don't know. One thing I love the terrace. I love that rival fans come together to talk. One thing that confuses the hell out of me is how rival fans expect rivals to be nice about their team all the time. In the same breath, those same people I see in my comments that moan about rivals not respecting them, slag everybody else off. That's the bit that really makes me laugh the most. It's like, bro, if you're going to banter people, you're going to get it back. Chelsea are a dead club. Someone says you respect his money. Of course, I respect the money that Super Chatters give to the Football Terrace. They keep us alive. They keep us going. They make this possible. So, of course, I respect what they're doing for my channel. Master Yoda, I think you've tried to say that as a disrespectful thing, but no, it's the absolute truth. I respect anybody that is willing to give the Football Terrace some of their hard-earned money to keep us going, keep us alive, keep us pushing forward. I'm humbled by it. I'm honored by it. And, of course, I respect it. And even when I disagree with what they say, I respect them for doing it. It's as simple as that, my friend. So, yes, you are right. You've tried to turn that into an insult, but you failed miserably. Very miserably on that one. Big L for you, bro. Proper big L. The last time someone in your family took something that big, there was a donkey involved. At this time of the season, all that matters is 3 points. Jason, my guy, I hope you're well, my friend. You're absolutely right, Jason. You're absolutely spot on. At this stage of the season, that is all that matters. And Liverpool fans the other day, some said they're still in the race, like Callum on top 6 yesterday. We're still in this. We can still do this. There are others that sort of feel a bit like maybe it's over. Maybe it's going to be too hard, but they had to win tonight. And I saw a slip up maybe on the cards. I thought Liverpool would start lethargic. I thought they'd be a bit downbeat. They did start that way, but they came back. They showed great mentality and fair play to them. How is this Liverpool team expected to be complete favourites against Real Madrid? The English bias is a little bit mad. Well, they are favourites, in my opinion. But are Real Madrid dangerous? Of course they're dangerous. Like, I don't think in their heart of hearts, any Liverpool fan, not even Don, I am very cocky Hussam, is going to go into that Champions League final thinking, we got this. It's all going to be ours. We're there. We got it. Nobody's going to stop us. You know, it's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? Bad impression, but you know what I mean? I love his voice, by the way. So the first time I heard Dom Hussein on that space, I was like, this guy's voice could, if he read me the phone book, I think I'd fall asleep. And that isn't meant to be a pass at him. It's just, I like his voice. It's good. It's good. Terry, jump in your pool in the summer. Yeah, I will. I'm actually cleaning it out at the minute. It's very full of algae at the minute. It's I didn't open it for 2 months and I didn't realize how green it would go with no chlorine in it. But there we go. Mane for the Ballon d'Or is what Cedric believes. He could get it. But there we go. And on this account is for football banter. I don't need my real identity online. As grown man living out of football banter, you should know that. All right, Winnerpool. I just assumed you were young with the name, but there we go. You can have banter with your real name. What is your real name? I reckon your real name's Colin. Colin. You sound like a Colin to me, my old governor. If Chelsea win the FA Cup, I want an apology. The arrogance is too much when they were irrelevant losers for 3 decades, is what Chelsea GOAT has got to say here. Thoughts on Vinicius versus Trent? It's going to be fun. Do you know why it's going to be fun? Because Vinicius could cook him. But equally, Vinny don't get back. Trent's going to love that. So with the fact that I think Liverpool will be the aggressors, the counter-attack could be on. I think if you put Jordan Henderson in the position to cover that hole, it's going to be all right. And by the way, a lot of Liverpool fans have tried to make Henderson the guy that's going to get replaced by Tchouaméni or whatever. Henderson changed the game tonight. The ball retention, the composure in the game, the control. Henderson, man of the match, in my opinion. I thought Diaz was great. Mane got the goal. Henderson changed the game when he came on and deserves a lot of props. But I'm bringing out my panel tonight to come on and have their say. Do me a big favor and smash that like button. Subscribe to the Football Terrace if you haven't done so already. Let's do this, people. Let's go. Welcome back, everyone. Hope you're all good. How are we?
Good, Sal.
All good.
Good, 3 points. You move.
Absolutely. I mean, started off a little bit slowly, but obviously came back well, although not the best night for you all. Give me your thoughts. Why was there the slow start? Was this expected after the weekend results, or was it just an anomaly? What are we saying?
I think it's because Villa came out like a bull in a china shop. They were on us from the first few seconds, and us passing was just sloppy. Even it was like a disease. Everyone was passing to an Aston Villa shirt. Even Alisson had the disease as well. So once we got ourselves like together, it was all okay. It was all okay for an instance, but we can't do that against the likes of Chelsea and Real Madrid. We just can't. We can't have these really slow starts, because the majority of the games that we won against really good opposition was because we had a fast start. Manchester City in the FA Cup semi-final, for example.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, against Chelsea, and of course the next big game for you, Real Madrid, slow starts like that, ain't gonna be done. I want to ask about Fabinho. Like, one of the first big things to come out of this game is him picking up that injury. It's a hamstring, so we all kind of know generally a couple of weeks minimum normally with a hamstring. How big a miss could that be Saturday, Rack?
Huge. Yeah, look, Fabs are by far our strongest DM, and we'll miss him. And it's a shame because we missed Thiago in the Carabao Cup final. He obviously came off in the warm-up, and now it looks like we're going to miss Fab in the FA Cup. I still think we've got enough there to kind of dominate most of the match, but when you've got someone as good as Fabinho and as impressive as he's been for us, yeah, it's disappointing. It wasn't his best game today, but I think the team in general looked a little bit fatigued. But yeah, it's going to be a miss.
I agree with you, and Dom, like, the team is looking a bit fatigued. That's why there was some rotation today. There's some injuries being picked up. Are you worried about burnout before the end of the Premier League and these two big decisive finals?
I'm not really. I'll be real with you. The thing is, the Fabinho thing is very disappointing for me. I'm looking past the Chelsea game. I'm looking more at, maybe the Madrid game, where it worries me a bit more, because I think he'll be pivotal in stopping counter-attacks that game and stuff. I think the tiredness is definitely a thing. But I think I was surprised a little bit maybe by Klopp's rotation today. I thought he would maybe rest Mane, because I think Mane has played a lot, like in a row, like full on. But he played him and he scored, so well done. And I thought I knew Robertson was going to get rested, because you could just tell that performance against Spurs, he was absolutely just shattered like to pieces. You could tell just by looking at him. Robertson, usually he's like, people say at least he defends well. Against Spurs, he didn't even defend well. Like, people are doing Emerson Royale compilations. So, I think Robertson just needed a bit of rest. And these things happen. Like, you're in a position now where in May 10th, this is where probably 99% of the teams have their season over already, and we already still have 3 competitions to play for. We still have Premier League fixtures, very important. Every single one of them is literally a cup final. You have the game against Chelsea, which is an FA Cup final, and we have a Champions League final to look forward to. So there's so much football involved that tiredness is just natural. Terry, I know you're older than everyone here, probably about 58 years old. You watched the 1999 season for Manchester United, and you saw the players when it comes to crunch time, it's not even tiredness. It might even just be mental fatigue a little bit. It might be like different stuff. It's not necessarily like Mane can't play 2 games in a week. He can, but I think the mental side of it is shit. We have a final on Saturday. We have another final on the 28th of the month. Now I have to, come here, play against Aston Villa, who want to be the story of the team that stopped Liverpool from winning the league. Southampton will want to be the story of the team that stopped Liverpool winning the league. Same with Wolves. So all the players just going to give the 10 out of 10 effort. And this is the thing. But I'm happy overall. Now it's crunch time. Let's win these games. And listen, we've been a dramatic football club our whole life. So if City somehow do fuck up against Wolves and West Ham, or Wolves by itself, and we make up goal difference, I'm all for it, man. Come on, you Wolves. So yeah, it wasn't out of our hands, but now we need a loss. A little bit more tough than a draw, but I keep the faith.
No, I agree with you. It's funny, really. I was looking at points totals actually today. I was just going back through old leagues, looking at kind of points totals and how many points teams got. And one thing that used to happen a lot in the Premier League, I would say up until probably Pep, maybe Conte. I mean, Conte actually got 93 points the year before the guy did the Centurions. People sort of forget that. But like teams would win the league with 4 or 5 games to go and then play poor teams. And sometimes like you see title winners in the last 4 or 5 games, they'd lose 3. Which was crazy, and it was almost like they'd rotate, especially if they had, I think Arsenal kind of did that. They lost their last 2 games of the season, which would have put them into like mid to high 80 points or something in 1998, because they had the FA Cup final, so they were kind of resting themselves, because I think the mental fatigue can sometimes lead to the other elements. We will get onto the FA Cup final a little bit later, because it may be the last time we all speak as a collective before then. I need to go to Zayn.
Gary, I just want to say one thing just before we move on. On the mental fatigue part, just 10 seconds. Gary Neville, I think I watched him on one of the videos. He said it got to a stage where they started just counting the games down, like 11 games left, 10 games left, 9 games left, just to, give them a little bit extra. So it's all up here. It's no longer a physical thing. I'm not hearing nothing physical. These are the players in the prime of their powers and everything. It's just in the mind. Right now, it's all in the brain.
No, mate, you're absolutely right. I'll give you an example of where it's all in the brain. Something that's not been called out by anyone on. I'd love to. I do and I don't. I never angle to get on, but then I don't get asked either, really, because I'm obviously not that popular. But if I ever got to sat on like a Sky Sports show and there's a pro on there, and I heard him moaning and a mainstream, and I go, I don't like playing Thursday, Sunday. It's too tiring. My question is, well, what's the difference between that and Wednesday, Saturday? You moron. It's a mental thing. It's a mental thing that Thursday, Sunday is more tiring than Wednesday, Saturday. Or playing on Sunday and having a Champions League fucking game Tuesday. It's like, I look at it and I'm like, we're all being brainwashed by moronic nonsense. It is not at this end of the day. I'm talking about that sort of stuff. It is all in the head. Speaking of what's in your head.
Yes, Terry. You're going to talk to me something, bro.
Wow, that was a nice segue there, Terry.
I am a professional.
Debatable, but let's go, bro.
Okay, so Sadio Mane does it again for your team. I know you've kind of apologized to him before, but I think we need to hear another big fat full screen.
I'm so glad, bro. I'm so glad
for you being absolutely wrong about one of the greatest attackers in the last 40 years.
Do you know what? See, there's levels to this, bro. Levels to this, bro. And there's bear man in the chat going about Mane, right? Now, I dropped a little nugget a couple of weeks back just because you fools didn't get it, right? I said, has Diaz had played a factor in Sadio Mane now scoring goals? And you look like, no, not a factor. Guess what, brother? Where's Mane scoring his goals from?
That's a lie. That's a play. That's an unmitigated.
Today as well. Where did he score his goal? From the middle. Who supplied him? Diaz. Where was Diaz playing?
Right, so because Luis Diaz has got one.
Mane was not playing on the left. He was playing in the middle. And where's Mane been scoring his goals since Diaz come in? In the middle. So you people out there, I've said, no, let me finish. I said,
Zayn, can you just clarify what you mean? I think they don't understand what you mean, Zayn, because what you're saying is factual. They just don't understand.
Yeah, Zayn, I want to ask a question.
Clarify it.
Yeah, I want to ask a question on that. Is it Luis Diaz who picked the team and moved Mane into the middle?
I said to you that that's the thing I like about this place, man, because I dropped it 2 weeks ago. I said, do you think Luis Diaz has had a factor? Ask all these Liverpool fans on there, right? Set man, don't even know that. Don't even know the screen bars, right? And they're like, no, Diaz is not a factor. So you're telling me that Klopp moved Mane for no reason.
That's
You're
a lie,
telling me
Zayn. Zayn, that's a lie because we all agree with you. Zayn, that's a lie. You're lying right now. You're lying between
You're
your
lying,
teeth.
bro. You're
How's he
lying,
lying,
bro.
bro? Why is everyone piling on
No,
Zayn? He's sitting back.
Hussam. Let me tell you what we actually said. Me and Tom and myself actually
Tom
said.
wasn't actually there, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, fine. I can vouch for
see
Ben.
again, you're chatting shit. Said you're trying
No,
to talk
just
about
let
something.
me-
Let him
You're there,
finish.
bro. See, chat. That's what
Zayn,
I'm talking about.
Zayn,
People
hush
like
your
that
gums
man
for
up
a
there.
minute and let me
Lies.
talk.
Chat. Don't
Let
chat.
me
I got
talk.
facts,
Let
bro.
me talk, bro.
Facts.
Let me talk.
Don't
Let me
lie.
talk. We all said Mane, the reason why he's come back to form is not only because Diaz has come, is because Mane has got a lot of confidence from AFCON and this new position that he's played, and the way he's playing this new position is getting him more goals. We all didn't deny that Diaz coming in gave him a little bit of a kick on the backside. But you can't take away from the fact that not only has he had a very good AFCON where he was pivotal in them winning the AFCON for his nation, his first ever international trophy for his nation, by the way, but also this new position, the way he's playing this new position.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. You scoot over the new position. He wasn't playing that position until Diaz come in, bro. He did not.
Yeah, because Diaz came in when he was at AFCON.
So let's keep it real, bro.
Hang on, Zayn, we're going off in a crazy direction. I understand your point that someone coming in has done whatever else, but what you were saying about Mane is that he is washed and done.
On the left-hand side, he's washed.
No, you didn't say.
No, that's
you
a lie.
On my days, right, let's keep it real.
Zayn, stop.
Explain the whole situation, bro.
No, you didn't say at any
I can say what I want to say, bro.
No, you didn't say at any point. Mane's washed on the left. We have to move him centrally and watch him come back alive. Then you said he's got to be sold.
All right, so let me keep it real, right?
But I said that as well, Terry.
Mane was washed. What position was Mane playing when I said he was washed? Answer the question.
I'm not hiding. I'm just making copy. Relax, bro.
Left wing, bro. Left forward. He was not playing central. So when I said he was washed, what position was playing? Left wing, left forward, what you want to call it. He weren't playing central. So shut up about.
You said you wanted him gone.
See what I mean?
You said you wanted him gone.
Can I say one more point? Now, let me say one more point, right? See how I was slagging off Salah recently as well. People forget that. People think I've got a Mane agenda, but you lot have forgotten that I've been cussing off Salah, saying no, he don't deserve to play at the moment. Guess what? Did he play today? No. Why is that? Because he don't deserve to, bro. So again, I'm chatting facts. I've got no agenda, bro.
That's true.
I just call out players and ain't doing their job. And
Zayn, would you play Salah in the final against Chelsea?
Of course you would, bro. You're mad. But
he's not doing his job. He's not doing his job, though.
What?
Terry, can I just say one thing to back Zayn? This is a statement I never thought I'd say. Zayn, 1 second. Zayn, relax. Let me back you. I'm going to back Zayn up. And this sentence I never thought I'd say. I'm going to back Zayn up, but I'm saying it. The thing is, revisionist history is absolutely mental. Because I came on the terrace and I said Sadio Mane is finished at the top level. I said that's a quote I said. And I said I'd sell him. Now, just because something is accurate in September doesn't mean it's accurate in March. Mo Salah was the best player in the first 5 months of the season in the world. Now it's crystal clear Karim Benzema. Shit can change in football. Sadio Mane has moved down the middle. He has improved his performances a lot. And Sadio Mane, by the way, even post-AFCON when he's played left wing, has not performed nowhere near as a striker. Has Diaz played a part? Of course it has, because you cannot keep someone like Diaz off the bench. Diaz has been keeping the guy who's our second highest goal scorer, Jota, on the bench. That shows you the level of player he is. So Mane playing down the middle you can change your opinion. You don't have to be wrong and strong. Post-AFCON, Mane has turned it back on. I am so happy I'm proven wrong. Big up to Sadio Mane. I'm so happy because me being proved wrong equal Liverpool success, which I'm happy about. I've always been constructive. Sadio Mane, earlier on in the season, I promise you there was no difference between him and Marcus Rashford. Let's not sit here and pretend that he was this incredible thing. First 5 months of the season, link-up play was dominant. Finishing was dominant. It was all bad. First 5 months of the season, it's
because you make a certain point, which I agree with. Sadio Mane wasn't his old self, but Sadio Mane still had 10 goals by December. 10. He was third in the top scorer list in December. Sadio Mane has just revised his role. Being in the centre has meant he's more effective at what he does. He is still the same player that was out on the left. He's still got
No,
to
he
be a
isn't.
consistent first touch.
No,
does.
he
He's still
isn't,
got to be
brother.
The thing is,
consistent
no, but
first
the thing
touch.
is, the problem is, people,
No, he isn't,
people,
man. He
people,
improved
no,
so
but
much,
Hussam,
Tom. Don't be
Hussam,
disingenuous.
but Hussam,
That's not true.
Mane is not playing the same. Throughout the whole of this season, he hasn't been playing the same way as he was when he was in his prime, playing in the left wing, taking players on. He's been making the outside-in run and being more of a goal scorer this season from the start. Obviously, when you're playing from a more of a central position, you're going to occupy that space more, and potentially you're going to be scoring more goals, or at least be in more positions to score goals. He hasn't been the marauding kind of taking players on, get to the byline, or cut back inside kind of player for the whole season. I agree. I think the issue is that for me, it was too early to say we should sell him. I agree. You could argue that he wasn't at the level that he needed to be at. But I think it's going a bit too far to say it was necessary to sell him.
I think for me,
it wasn't going too far at all. It wasn't going too far at all.
I know
he had a whole season.
He had a
whole season. He had a whole season where he performed not well. Started the season, first 5 months did not do well. Now we've changed our mind. We're all sitting here saying big up Mane. But at the start of the season, this was not happening.
Last season wasn't great for anybody. It was okay.
But that isn't the argument, though. The argument is more what I like about it. I just like doing it for playing devil's advocate. You've kind of said I was wrong, where Zane's like, no, I was right because another player's come in and this has happened and the players made him better. And instead of just going, I was wrong, Mane still got it. That's all this is really about. That's all you had to say, Zane. Instead, you've done all this jiggery.
No.
Expelliarmus. You know what I mean?
No. See, Terry, this is the nonsense, the agenda stuff. Like, because all I do is call my players up when they're playing shit. There's no agenda to it. Like all these men are chatting, apologize for Mane. I'm calling out Salah for being shit.
Zane, that's not.
They don't even know you exist.
Zane,
call your players out.
Guys, please, sorry. Zane, that isn't the point I just made.
You didn't even know, bro. What are you talking about only players? No,
what are you talking about?
You might even know that bloody when Steven Gerrard was playing number 10.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm muting everyone for a minute. I already did this on the terrace. I'm going to mute everyone for a minute. Zane, the point wasn't that you're not wrong. No one said you were wrong for calling him out. Is that when he's proven you wrong, you're trying some hocus pocus, jiggery piggery way of trying to make it sound like you were right still.
I'm happy for Mane. I've said it.
I'm muting you again because I'm not finished speaking. I saw an Arsenal fan do this recently where they said Odegaard would be a shocking signing and listed all these reasons. And then he's been pretty good to most Arsenal fans. And he's, instead of going, I was wrong, he was a good signing, he went, yeah, but the reason that he's been a good signing is because he's addressed all the issues that I said he had. And it's like, just admit you were wrong, you pleb. I'm not calling you a pleb. I'm talking about an Arsenal fan saying, yeah, exactly. I know. You're a big, tall guy, and I'm very, very scared of you. So, Zane cooking. Yeah, I'm really not. Liverpool won, didn't they? Yes, they did. I want to ask about Mo Salah. You kind of brought it up.
Yeah.
Should he and will he start on Saturday?
Yeah, he will do, bro.
Yeah.
Because you know what people need to realise with Mo Salah? It's not the fact that he doesn't score goals, because every season Mo Salah will have a 9-10 game stretch where you'd have a wheelie bin in front of goal that would be more deadly. He seems to just be a magnet for hitting the post. But what Mo Salah does, he's got an aura about him where fullbacks will stick on him because you can't give Salah space. He creates. This season, I've been really impressed when he hasn't been scoring, because he's picked up the creative output. He's got assists in both legs of the Champions League semi-final. He got an assist against City. I don't know if he got one in the FA Cup semi-final, but he was still creative in that one. When we've needed him to, and he hasn't been performing on a goal-scoring level, he's picked it up on a creative level. So that's why I'm more than happy. Mo Salah is still our most important attacker, not in the sense of him scoring a goal every game, in the sense of, if you drop Mo Salah, like we done today, they're better off defensively because they don't have to commit men on him. Lucas Digne today could sit on the edge of their 18-yard box and guard against the cross that Luis Diaz or Sadio Mane or Trent would have put in. But you can't do that when you've got Salah, because he can create something out of nothing. So all that happens, if we don't start Salah, I get he's got what, is it 2 open play goals in 10 games or something like that, both in the same game. I don't care, because if there's anything that could, Mo Salah can turn it on like that. I would be the least surprised person if he's been crap, 2 goals in the final, because why not? That's what he does, and that's why he's got to be one of the first names.
My point on Salah as well, because I was critical of him last week, right? And the reason I'm being critical is, yes, he's doing his job, he's getting assists, right? But there's more to him, and I just think at the moment he's mentally and physically drained, and I think he needs a break, right? He needs to recharge his batteries a bit, and I'd rather, like today, not play, so he's fresher mentally and physically for the final, whereby, like Tom's alluded to, he's not scored many open play goals, but if there's a penalty, we know who we want to take that penalty, right? And also, his assist, he's created so many assists. He's got 15 assists this season. So, from my point of view, the agenda with Salah is he's not performing as well as he should be. Let him have a break and let other people get a rhythm, because we may need other people to step up during the Champions League or another league game. So that's the reason, man.
Daddy, your question is why, I think.
People don't like players getting called out. I don't understand what the fan base is all about.
You
can't
spot on
say
with
anything negative against any players, bro. It doesn't
Kevin
matter.
Kevin De Bruyne.
There's nothing wrong with
by the admission of City fans themselves. I've had City fans who go to games proper mank like City fans. Tell me, Kevin De Bruyne has not been at his level for 16 months, 3 months ago. And they still would start Kevin De Bruyne. Now, finals, games like this are won in moments. I don't care if Mo Salah does not score a goal from now to the end of the season. He should start because he is our best player. So when I look at it, if Kevin De Bruyne goes on a bad run, he still starts for Manchester City. If N'Golo Kante goes on a bad run, he still starts for Chelsea, etc. These players can affect games in different ways. And what Tom said is spot on. And I said this actually earlier on today on a space, funnily enough, because, big up to Terry mentioning the spaces. I said, when it comes to Mo Salah, the good thing about him is he attracts defenders, therefore creating space. No one is going to let Mo Salah go one-on-one with anyone. I promise you, watch that Chelsea game. You're going to see they're going to try double him up, either with left centre-back and left wing-back, or left wing-back and midfielder. They're just going to try double him up. And that creates us some space. It creates us something different. Has he been playing fully shit stinker? I don't think so. I think post-AFCON, he's had maybe 3, 4, 5, absolute stinkers. And the rest wasn't his level, but he's had very good performances as well. Now, he hasn't been his level pre-AFCON. That's a lie, 100%. We all know he hasn't been the same post-AFCON, but he still impacts and affects games in a different light. Plus, we don't really have a left-footed right winger, which is a problem for us because of the way we play football. So if you slot Jota right wing, that's a problem for me. I genuinely do not want to see him play right wing ever. Mane on the wing, we've established is much better down the middle. And Diaz on the left as well is way more effective. So for me, I think Mo has to start. The decision is always about the third guy. Mane down the middle, either Jota on the left or Diaz on the left. That's the only decision we have to make. So
you kill the right hand side if you don't play Salah.
Sorry, go on. Right. We're in the sector.
The only thing I'd say is, look, if Chelsea want to ignore Salah and they think he's not a threat anymore, and they want to play him 1-against-1 or even cheat and try and double up, fine. I'll take that all day of the week, every day of the week, because Salah will make them pay for it. Salah is potent. And the reason why he's not getting, potentially the outputs, there's been a bit of a structural change to the team when Diaz and Mane coming in. And second of all, obviously players doubling up and fatigue. It's a number of things that have kind of coincided, and that's helped Salah drop a form bit. But he's the same player, and he'll still be there.
Yeah, I agree massively with what Sam said around moments, because it's very unlikely. I don't remember. I'm not. I know City did it to Watford, but I can't remember the last. Man United did it to Millwall. But generally, when the big teams play each other, the last time I honestly remember a team battering another one in a cup final was Man United Chelsea in the early mid-90s. We beat them badly. I think we beat them 4-0, and it was over in the first half. Generally, those games are quite close, and I'm hoping for a repeat of what we all watched, most of us watched in the studio, of the League Cup final. As a neutral, I'm hoping for a really close, good game. It will be won in moments, and Mo Salah can be crap for 92, 93, 94 minutes. But in the 95th minute, if you've got anyone running through one-on-one on goal, I still think right now every Liverpool fan picks Mo Salah. And I think that's why I think he has to start, even though some will say he was rested today. And I think there's an element of rest. I also think there's an element of you still need to give players like him a kick up the backside. And one of the great things about Luis Diaz coming in, and me and Louis comes on Top 6. Obviously, he works with the Give Me Sport. He did the stereotypical top red thing in the studio the other day. I said, he was talking about he thinks you guys are going to sign Tchouaméni. So, who would miss out in the team? Who do you think he'd replace? He did the typical Liverpool response. No one. Whatever. No, they didn't want to mention it. And it's like, well, competition is good. Salah being dropped for a game gives him that kick up the backside because he knows there's quality players that want his place. Luis Diaz coming in and it's probably given an element of, sometimes a player like that can rejuvenate a player. It can prove to even themselves that they're not washed and not past their best. And no, I think it's going to be a brilliant FA Cup final at the weekend. I do make Liverpool the favourites for it. It's just about guarding against that complacency.
I'd say slight favourites, man. It's not an easy win, honestly. It's going to be a stressful game. And
I hate the FA Cup, Terry. I hate the FA Cup.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm never backing us in the FA Cup. I don't care. We could be playing Millwall.
Wembley's a big pitch as well. Big pitch. It's wide. I feel like
you're not so worried.
You're not worried,
especially with the. I want to say we're worried. I think we're a bit.
I'm not worried about Chelsea. I'm worried about the FA Cup being bad luck. That's all I'm worried about.
I think it's the only thing that could stop us from winning the FA Cup is
Tom.
us.
Last time we won the FA Cup, you were just born, so it's different.
Right, no, hold on a minute, because that's just gonna. No, right. The FA Cup doesn't bother me.
Let it go, Tom. Let it go, Tom.
Stop the drinking, bro. You've had too much already, bro. The bottle, put it down, bro.
No,
but it's been about 16 years since we last won the FA Cup. It's not been very kind to us.
Yep.
I get that.
We've got a new team.
It's got to come to an end soon. It's got to come to an end soon.
This is a Liverpool team. I hate saying this because I'm sounding like a broken record. This is the best Liverpool team we've had since the 80s. I've never had more confidence.
We're talking about bad luck, nothing football related. Bad luck in this competition.
It's beyond.
You create your own luck. If we play, at the end of the day, if we play at our standard, oh mate, I'm not having this. If we play at our standard, if this Liverpool team plays at the level this Liverpool team can play at, no one beats us because we are that good.
Tom, who's disagreeing with that, Tom?
That's the thing.
Why are you arguing something we're not arguing?
We're
talking about the bad luck.
About luck.
But Tom, Fabinho's not playing. I told you, Fabinho.
Let me just give you a bit of a history lesson, Tom. 1984, we were supposed to win the quadruple, but we lost the FA Cup final. Listen to me, step by step. We lost the FA Cup final. We lost the FA Cup final. Let it go, Terry. We lost the FA Cup.
One second. We didn't get to the final.
Ram. It doesn't matter. We lost the FA Cup. Whatever.
I've had a few drinks. Ram,
we lost the FA Cup. That's what matters. We lost to Wimbledon in an FA Cup final. We lost to Chelsea in the FA Cup final in 2012. We lost to Aston Villa at Wembley in Gerrard's last year. And in 2006, and everyone here who watched that game, I know Tom hasn't, everyone here who watched that game knows, if it wasn't for Steven Gerrard, we do not win that game. That was nothing but Gerrard, literally. Because we had Konchesky score a goal against us. So Tom, we're not giving you footballing reasons. No one sat here talking like, oh, Lukaku's gonna bully Van Dijk. No one's saying that shit. All we're saying is we are just extremely unlucky in this competition, which is normal. Like Terry might have a competition, he's unlucky. Every fan base.
Konate needs to play. Konate is undefeated for Liverpool.
Sorry, Zane, just let Tom go, please. Sorry, go on, Tom.
You're holding it off. We should have beat Wimbledon. We should not have beat Chelsea. We were going into Chelsea 2012 with Andy Carroll as the saviour. Andy Carroll, the man who was West Ham's leading striker for 3 years. We should never have had a chance in that final. We got ran to penalties by Cardiff. Of course, I'm not bothered about 2012 when Charlie Adam was our midfield creator. 19, whatever it was against Wimbledon, was the one we should have won and lost. This team doesn't abide by luck. This team is too good to fall to bad luck. This team plays past bad luck because if bad luck was a thing, we wouldn't have been so close in 18-19 and we wouldn't have won the league in 19-20. Because if there's one thing that the footballing gods hate for us, it's us in the Premier League. Because my God, have we been good for the last 4 years and have one Premier League to show for it? One. City have 3. We've been better than them for 4 years.
I appreciate that. We've got some super chat to do here. Come on from Ryan says, I give it 3 minutes until Zane is shouting.
I'm getting muted, bro. I can't shout, bro. I can't shout because I keep getting muted, bro.
No, I mute it because I wanted to move on to the super chats and I knew you were about to jump in and I've got to just keep some control in the schedule of the show. Terry, I know what you are doing, yet I still watch your channel. Why? Tell me. Probably.
That's a you problem, not a Terry problem.
You problem. I would say probably maybe you've got a thing for me. Maybe I'll do this. I haven't done this for many years, but I'm going to do it again now. Khan, if you would like a private voice note, if you would like a little
Terry, I am leaving this stream right now. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this right now. I'm not going to do this.
Terry Tibbs here says Mane has scored 12 since February in all competitions. Mo Salah 7. Yeah, Mane's been great. He really has. Zayn wants to be league gunner, but he is the tie of Liverpool FC.
That's a compliment, bro. League gunner's right, bro. I rate his opinions on Arsenal. He knows what he's talking about as an Arsenal fan.
But he's not saying you're league gunner.
Yeah, he's saying you're actually tired.
We do.
Like I said, bro, people don't like to think. But actually, are you still reading more super chats, or can I do my point, bro?
Let me finish your super chat. Sorry, mate. Salah's problem is his own standards are set. So he's set any less and he's finished, or he wants to leave. Blah 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 blah. He's too good to remain on the. I think on this patch. Yeah, of course he is. But as I say, it's a cliche, but form is temporary, class is permanent. Embarrassing though, in this Zayn clown is a Liverpool fan, is what Danny says. A little bit harsh, a little bit harsh, but always, of course, respect the super chatters. Thank you very, very much, and the members indeed. Okay, I read all those other ones out. There we go. Well, you were going to say something, Zayn?
Yeah. So obviously, back to Tom's point about being confident about the FA Cup. I think I've always said Liverpool are good when our midfield contains Thiago and Fabinho. We can swap the other person to be Keita, Henderson, whatever. We are good, right? We generally tend to do well. So from my point of view, Fabinho potentially is injured for a couple of weeks. Hopefully he's back for the Champions League, all right? But what I would believe in, and what people don't understand, is people who've played football and all that, there is this luck thing, man. There is a thing about, do you know what I mean? Have you not, how many players you see hop or go walk backwards onto the pitch, do this and all that kind of shit, right? So for you to discount that there's not luck or some kind of judge type thing that players are always doing, it's scandalous to even say that, right? And so from my point of view, I would love Konate to start in that cup final because he's never lost for Liverpool yet. So we need that counter the FA Cup judge we have, right? So that's what I'm trying to get across, right? Is there is that kind of thing out there?
Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, also to your point, though.
Come on, man.
Also to your point,
they've got kind of judge in the Champions League.
Yeah, no. Hendo and Keita have never lost together, so should we drop Thiago for that? Because Hendo and Keita have never lost together, so let's play them.
Fabinho ain't playing, so you might as well put Kane in. Anyone who's undefeated, put him in, bro.
Should we put Judge ahead of sound tactical reasoning? I beg to differ.
Hold on. Hold on a minute. Is Fabinho playing? So we need to put someone in there, bro.
Wait, what?
I'm leaning on the fact that Fabinho didn't go straight down.
No. But you said you play Konate because Konate has a winning record. That's not a reason to play him. You play him for sound tactical reason. Do you think Klopp plays him for that reason, or do you think Klopp plays him for other reasons? Maybe he's going to be dominant in the air. Maybe he's going to help us score set pieces. What do you think Klopp does?
From my point of view, I believe in extra bits. Cool. He's a good player. He's played well. But obviously,
he is a good player. I agree, he's a good player. The question is, are you going to pick one player above another because of Judge? I don't.
Yeah.
Can you imagine it? Imagine the interview on Friday, Jurgen. What's the pre-match preparations? Oh well, we listened to Zayn on YouTube, and we're going to lay sage on our doorsteps before we go to sleep to make it.
No. I did not say. See, that's what I'm saying, chat. This is the lies. That's scandalous.
Hang on. I'm muting you again. It's not a lie. It's not a fucking joke. Do you know what I mean? Calm down. It's a joke. It's a bit like you going to watch Ricky Gervais on stage again. Why is Ricky Gervais up there telling us all these lies about his life? They're called jokes. What's you doing that for? Is that what you did once? What's that? What is that you're doing? I don't know what that is, Zayn.
Oh, you let me speak again. I'm just trying to get your attention so I can speak again.
You were doing this. Is that what you do at the weekend? What is that?
No. I'm just saying what you probably do every night, bruv, after the show, bruv, with these man, innit?
Man's out skiing there, bruv. I don't know what he's doing.
Right. Okay, but like I said, let's get to a point now. Are you not saying that, again, Terry, you being a Man United fan and you being watching the team be successful, were there not certain players you wish you thought are lucky and you're like, yeah, they, in certain key games? Would you not say that? Come on, you haven't.
I'll answer. So when I was a bit younger, I believed a lot in superstition. The way I put my sock, when I just, especially my martial arts sports, certain things I did, rituals in terms of stretching, training, what I ate, music I listened to before I competed, like I kept it the same. And the older I got, what I actually realized that superstition was mentality. So there's this element of a certain ground you go to that your team wins at more than others. It's because there's a belief, you know what, Man United used to go away to Villa Park and it was a guaranteed 3 points. So you know the players were turning up going, we've got this because we always win here. Teams, sides have bogey teams. I remember for a period of time, I throw one that's not Man United Liverpool related. Arsenal playing Sam Allardyce's Bolton. It always seems to throw an app, and it was just something about it. And I think it gets into the mindset of players. I think it's more mentality than anything else. So for me, Jurgen Klopp will pick a team based on what I think Rack's right. He'll base it purely on what he thinks is the best team to beat Chelsea. What could beat Liverpool though is if two things, complacency seeping in, which is the mentality issue. But if that complacency seeps in, it may be looked at by Chelsea Liverpool fans as we always have bad luck in this. The one thing I would say I would guard against is this notion of we're clear we're going to do this. It's going to be easy. There's going to be no problems. I think that kind of mentality can seep into a dressing room. And even as strong as Liverpool's is, that's dangerous because Chelsea aren't Villa. Chelsea aren't even Tottenham. Chelsea is still a really good team on their day. They've just had a bad couple of months, but they've still got killers in their team. And look, I'm really excited about the game. Speaking of another,
Chelsea will raise their game on the weekend. Chelsea will definitely raise their game. I don't expect.
Can they though?
I think so.
Do you think they have the mentality to switch it on and off?
Sometimes.
Do you think they have the mentality to switch it on and off? I think that's the issue for me. That's the one thing that's giving me.
Hussam, you
the one thing that's giving me belief for the Chelsea game.
Champions League final.
Number one second. No. But they didn't switch off the season because they were still fighting for top 4.
I mean,
I think you're gonna say they're fighting for it now. I know, but they've been on the beach for the last 3 weeks. Let's not change narratives. So I think with this whole situation, the one thing I would say, the thing that gives me confidence is I feel like Chelsea maybe can they switch it on and off like that? I don't think they have that mentality yet built in where they can just wake up and go like, okay, now it's a final, we're gonna give a fuck again. Even when you look at the Chelsea fans and the players, I feel like they've just, every time you speak to a Chelsea fan, they've sort of just seemed like tapped out from the whole season. Because if we're being honest and objective, I don't think there's a world in which Chelsea don't finish 4th or 3rd, so they're gonna get top 4 anyway. But then after that, like looking at their performances, it's literally just been lapses of concentration all the way throughout. The goals against Wolves, they've just switched off. The goals against Brentford, I think it was, or someone else, they just switched off. They've just been switched off and don't really care about the whole thing.
My rebuttal to that is that you could say that for last season because they lost the FA Cup final. They limped to top 4. They had to rely on Tottenham to beat Leicester to get top 4. And they turned.
So they weren't switched off.
They played very well against Manchester City in the end.
So they weren't switched off.
Ram, I'm going to back us on here. I'm going to back us on because your point.
They had something to fight for.
But when Tuchel came into that Chelsea team, they were 10th. They were like 9th, 10th. He had to drag them back up to a top 4 position for them to lose it. So they were never really in bad form like that. For 4 months, we've been sat there going, Chelsea can draw this game. Chelsea could lose this game, and I wouldn't be shocked. Chelsea can turn it on. Chelsea, they have the defence to turn it on and be solid, and they have the midfield that can turn it on and be hard to play against, hold possession, be annoying, nip in and intercept a lot of passes. The thing that doesn't worry me about Chelsea is their attack. I've never seen a less potent attack. They play front 3 of Mount, Werner and Havertz, and I'm not worried. Mason Mount in that Carabao Cup final had 3 one-on-ones and missed them all in separate ways. It's actually a credit to him that he's managed to do that.
They can use that Carabao Cup final to their advantage in like a revenge situation that they want vengeance after that.
They'll use things to motivate.
Look, I make Liverpool the favourites, and I'm really getting cooked tonight by the Liverpool fans in the car. It's funny. It's the first show in like 3 months where I haven't been like you're winning the league, and suddenly they're all like you hate us, Terry. Honestly, but I make Liverpool the favourites. The one thing I will say though is probability. So I believe probability is a real thing. It's a. I don't know how factual it is, but it's like Chelsea winning back-to-back Chelsea winning the Champions League. The odds were the odds, but winning it back-to-back makes those odds longer, in my opinion. And you beating them in 2 cup finals running, I think that makes it a little bit harder from a probability point of view because you've got to win them both on the bounce. Equally, are Chelsea going to lose their third FA Cup final on the bounce? There's those things I think are real because it's that flipping of a coin, towards the end of last season when City and Chelsea played each other, I think 3 times, league, FA Cup semi-final and Champions League. The Chelsea fans were like, listen, losing the league, lose the FA Cup semi-final, just hopefully we can win that almost like to get the losses out the way so they might have more chance of winning. I think that plays into the mindset of players and fans. But David David wants to come on and back his Chelsea team in this. We're going to bring him into the floor.
Oh, Lord.
Let me change the scene to this. We can fit him in. What are you saying, David?
We're winning on Saturday. We're winning. I'm here. I'm saying.
Hi, David.
Very good. Very good. Well done.
Big 4-4 and all that. Is he going to turn up now?
Hey, Big 4-4 is not my guy. But I have this feeling he's going to score. I don't know why he's going to score. He might be a bit of bad vibes, but you know what? There's new energy around the club, and I believe we're going to beat you. I genuinely do. I'm not even joking.
It's mad what a draw against Wolves can do for the club. Jesus Christ.
A draw against Wolves. We drew against Wolves the first time Thomas Tuchel was here. That's what happened. And then we went on and won a Champions League in the same.
And you lost the FA Cup final. You lost the FA Cup final as well.
Yo, Terry, can I say something about finals? Because I think people don't understand a final is a unique kind of game, bro. Right? I don't know if you, man, were lucky enough when you're younger to play in finals or whatever, right? No matter how good you are, finals just that different kind of level of game, bro, where form, whatever, goes out the window. It's a one-off situation where on that day, any man can do a madness and that's it, win the game, bro, right? And a classic example of that, right, is look at the 2005 Champions League. AC Milan, prime AC Milan, they had an outclassed position apart from Gerrard. Do you know what I mean? In terms of they were a much better team, 3-0 down. Do you know what I mean? All I'm going to say is it's a 50-50 toss-up generally with finals because it depends on who wakes up that day right side of bed and does some madness. Do you know what I mean? It's like you cannot just say, oh yeah, this team's going to win because of that. Because if that happened, we wouldn't see so many cup upsets. Do you know what I mean? There
were no guarantees.
Exactly.
There were absolutely no guarantees.
Exactly.
But generally speaking, the better team tends to win.
Exactly.
Again, no, you're right, Rack. The better team tends to win, but I don't think the gap between us is like big enough for it just to be like the better team's gonna win.
Yeah.
I think you're better.
Here we go.
Wait, I swear you wanted to sell your whole squad.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that we're like close right now. What I'm saying is that we have enough quality in our squad where if we do show up on the day, we will beat you. And we should have beaten you in the Carabao Cup. We should have been. We should have beaten you at least in one of the league games. At least one of them.
Yeah, David, I'll be honest. I thought we were lucky to win the Carabao Cup final against you. You had the better chances. If you put your dinner away, really, you should have won that
But
that
then
game.
that's not luck. That's not luck then. Luck is having a great shot and it hitting the post. Luck isn't being played through one-on-one and dragging it wide. That's not luck. That's just an inability to kick the ball in the net. At the end of the day, that's not luck. That's just being crap. That's just not being good enough at your job.
Honestly, because
Chelsea have the tools. Chelsea have the tools to make us pay if we make mistakes. Absolutely, I agree. That there is a gap between us, I think anyway. But in a one-off game, Chelsea are capable of beating us. But if we play, I feel like if we play to our best and Chelsea play to their best, we win. But you got to do it. At the end of the day, even I can say that in theory. Ultimately, we have to prove it on the pitch.
It's going to be a great game. Obviously, we've got the 12th man coming out on Friday, which is going to be an epic battle with a couple of Chelsea and a couple of Liverpool fans. We're looking forward to bringing that to you. And of course, a full match reaction show in the studio Saturday live after the game. Everyone that's tuned in tonight, thank you. The trolls are absolutely beautiful. I love you. The super chatters, you are amazing. My members, my subscribers, nothing but love. Another record-breaking March on the way in terms of views and new subscribers. Best March in the history of the Football Terrace so far. Sorry, 8 May in the history of the Football Terrace so far. So 3 months running, we're breaking records. So thank you all. David, Ram, Zane, Tom, I know you're gone already. Rack, and of course the Don. Thank you all for coming on and having your say. Until next time, everybody, take care. Goodbye. God bless. The quad's still on. The title race is still. We didn't really speak about the title race tonight, but we move on to from a Liverpool point of view, the FA Cup final.